welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches. Today is Thursday the 29th of January and this is Flosstube number 66. I already said Happy New Year when I did my whip parade, so I'm not going to say that again here. But I have had quite a few new subscribers since my whip parade. These things tend to generate a bit more interest. So I just want to say hello to everybody that's recently joined. I'm really glad that you're here and that you continue to enjoy my content. So it is almost the end of January and I'm tending to do my Flosstube updates monthly now. That's just kind of how it's working out. I don't know whether that will continue to be the case or whether I'll do them more frequently. We'll kind of see. But I have quite a few things to go through with you today. So I've got a little pile of finishes here. I have a bunch of whips. I'm going to talk to you about some changes, and I've got like a massive bag of haul behind me because I haven't filmed a regular update since I think the middle of December, or maybe it's like early December. I don't really know. Anyway, it's been a while, so I've acquired quite a few things, and of course I didn't talk about any of my haul in my whip parade because it wasn't appropriate for that video. So we're just going to go through everything. I've got a couple of finishes from before the new year, so these were finished in December. And then one from January, which is very exciting. So living in this lovely project bag that Sandy gave me is Chickadees in Spring. And I won't show you what it's going to look like because it's finished. And this is my finish of Chickadees in Spring. It looks amazing. So this was sort of on my rotation for working on to the finish, basically. This was kind of the whip that was closest to a finish, and so yeah, I did it. Let's have a little look in December how many stitches I put in. That's 2026. So 2025 stats, and Chickadees in Spring. I put in 1,360 stitches and that finished it off. The only thing I changed on this was I put beads in instead of French knots on the flowers. Just because I'm not really a massive fan of French knots, and they were French knots that were close together. I like to show like the, what would you call that, like the stamens in the flowers. And so I bought seed beads. Have I still got them in here? Yeah. So I can't remember what company these were from, but I'll leave them linked down below. These are Preciosa seed beads, size 11 in Ceylon Peach. I kind of looked for a bead colour that matched the threads that they wanted you to do the French knots in, and I think it blends in really well. So yeah, other than that I did everything that was called for. So this is the kit material. It's a I think a 16 count, like Dove Grey, Ada, and then all of the kit floss. So, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's so pretty. These Dimensions kits are a lot of work, but they are so worth it. So yeah, there's that one. Finish number 1. Going to throw things down there, and then finish number 2, living in this project bag that I bought on like a Facebook D-stash, but I believe there's an Etsy shop that sells these. This is a little kit that I got in a, well, I picked up off of a D-stash table, but it was in Cross Stitch magazine. Red squirrel keyring, and I completed it. So this is the kit Ada. It's 14 count white Ada, and it's all DMC threads from the kit. They don't give you much margin at all, but yeah. And what I did was I charted this on my charting software, and then used Saga to mark it off, and that was a lot easier. But yeah, look at how cute he is. He's got the little acorn that he's holding, and there's another one down here, and then you've got these mushrooms. Yeah, it's really sweet. So yeah, I've completed that, and that was a total of 1,290 stitches. So I need to turn that into a keyring at some point, but you guys know I'm not good at the finishing side of things. I've left those out. Oh, it doesn't matter. And then in January, my project that was closest to a finish was Cherry Blossom Bookmark, and this is by Author Embroidered Design on Etsy. I stitched it on a piece of 14 count white Ada, and I used CXC threads, and this is my finish. So I think I've done about half of this in 2025, and so at the beginning of January I pulled it out just because I had a bit of a hankering to work on it. You know, like when you do a whip parade and suddenly you see all of your whips again, and then you have like these urges to pull things out. So I pulled it out at the beginning of January, and then this week I decided I was going to finish it. It was the project closest to a finish, and I did. So it's all full crosses, apart from there's this little bit of back stitch here, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's quite big for a bookmark, so perhaps it would have been better to do it on a smaller count of fabric, or I maybe could have cropped it a little bit, I don't know, but it'll be fine. Yeah. And I could have really stitched it from my master set of CXC, but because I've got loads of the colours left, but yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that's that one. So those are all of my finishes. Let's have a little bit of tea. I've got a tea in my Stanley travel mug today, just because it stays hotter, doesn't it? I was doing that over the last few days when I've been at home. Yeah, and actually it makes a lot more sense. So sometimes when you're busy doing things, you don't get to enjoy a hot cup of tea, and this keeps it hot for ages. Okay, let's go back to 2026. Ugh. Right, let's talk about whips. I'm going to leave that one until last. I'm just going to pull out of my pile. So this is, I got this one out to begin with. This is living in this project bag that I made. Yeah, the Velcro's kind of coming a little bit loose now, but it's handmade, it's all good. So living in here is Disney characters, and I can't remember the name of the shop that I bought this from on Etsy, because there are a few different versions of this. Like, the reason I pulled this out is because Sherry from Little Lavender Stitch, she showed this on her latest Flosstube, and I just had the urge to pull it out again. Her one has got this green border around it as well as the gold, and my one doesn't have that. But my one is 999 stitches wide, and some of them that you come across on Etsy are significantly more narrow than that. And so you want to watch out for that, because there's so much detail in this image that if it wasn't that big, I think you'd lose a lot of it. So yeah. So I decided that I was going to kit this up with raw embroidery. I was stitching it with DMC, and I was careful. I sort of compared the colours that I had on Flosstubers to my raw embroidery, and any that were different, I've made like a little list of ones that I need to buy. So there are 3 colours here that I've already used that were, there was a bit of a difference with the raw embroidery. Well, enough of a difference for it to matter to me anyway. So I'm going to buy those ones, but everything else I've kitted up with raw embroidery. You can see this massive bag of floss here. So this has 130 colours, I think. And I'm stitching this, as with all of my full coverages, on a piece of 25 count even weave. I do 1/1 full cross, and oh sorry, I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it. And I actually worked on this yesterday, and I did 673 stitches. It's a massive piece of fabric, so you're going to have to bear with me while I just wrangle it. Right. Oh God, it's gone. Where's it gone? Oh no. Right. Okay, no, this way round. And then this way. Okay, and this is where we're at now. So yesterday I did 673 stitches, and it's at 0.66%. So you can really see the details coming out in Mickey's face. Sort of worked in this area here, just filling in. I'm really happy with the detail. I absolutely adore this image. So, as this is kind of one of my supersize ones, I was thinking that maybe I should try to pull it out once a month, because it is so massive. I'll never finish it if it only comes out like once or twice a year. Catching my cardigan on the Velcro. And you know, finishing things, especially full coverage, is not always the idea. But I mean, that would be pretty awesome to have finished one day. Right, shove it all back into the bag. Okay, next one is Mini New Solar System. And I suppose I kind of talked through my new plan for things as we go through. I decided that I wanted to finish this particular pattern this year, so I've sort of divided it up per week, and I have to do just over 450 stitches a week on this one. So that's what we're going for. So this is Mini New Solar System. The artwork is by Adrian Chesterman, and it's charted by Artisy. Again, I kitted this one up with raw embroidery, so these are the colours that I've been using so far, and then this is the rest of the floss. With this one, I did 698 stitches, and I am at 22.53%. And I got a page finish, so I'll put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it in my whip parade. And this is the page finish. So it's looking really good. for such a small pattern, the detail that is in here is amazing. So it's only 200 by 139. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So like with a lot of my other ones, I'm going to go diagonally in terms of pages. So the next page I'm going to do is this one, and then I'm going to go down and do this one afterwards. Yeah. So yeah, really pleased with that. And I bought some like planet fabric to make a project bag for this one. I thought, as I'm going to be working on it every week, and I've kitted it up, I need a bigger bag, and I thought I should have like a special bag for it. Just put this way. So yeah, I've got some fabric coming sort of like today or tomorrow with some planets on it, so that'd be good. Okay, this is the other one that I want to finish this year. Living in this dragonfly project bag, and it's got my everything's catching on my cardigan. My daughter made these key rings, so she gave one to me, so I've got that on there as well. This is the Haid sale 2026, and this is Glistening Wings, and the artwork is by L&L Designs. This is 87,000 stitches, so in order to finish it by the end of the year I need to do about 1,650 stitches a week. So I'm working on it at the weekend, so both days of the weekend, and trying to get in about 800 or just over 800 stitches on both days of the weekend. So that's been working so far. I tend to get more stitching time on Saturday than I do on Sunday, but yeah, no, it's worked out really well so far. So with Glistening Wings, I'll put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it. I think in 2025, because that's the I started it in December when they released it. I was at 2,247 stitches. Now I've done a total of 10,641 stitches, and I'm at 12.23%. So this is being done with raw embroidery floss as well, and I got a page finish on this one this weekend, so that's where we're at now. So yeah, with this one, like when you're stitching the wings, it's kind of hard to see how it's all going to come together, and then it comes together at the last minute. So yeah, so I've moved over to this page here. I'm going to do the same with this one diagonally. So there's 2 rows of pages and then a partial page at the bottom, so I'm going to count the partial pages and do the same with those as well. So I've moved over to this page here, and you can just see the top of the dragonfly's head here, so that's exciting. So yeah, really enjoying watching this come to life. There's so many pretty colours in that one. I'm not really interested in getting any of the reward charts. I would like to get the rest of the charts that were offered as options, although you only have to do 6 pages to do that, and I want to finish it just because I want to finish it basically. So yeah, that's Glistening Wings. Next up, no, back that way. There we go. Is living in this bag that I made. This is Love Letters Chocolate Shop. Oh God, this has got a bit, it's a bit screwed up. This is it's Max Colours. The artwork's by Aimee Stewart and is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I did 777 stitches on this, so I'll put a picture up on the screen of where it was before. And this is at 0.97%, and I'm stitching this one with Aimee floss. So these are the colours so far. It's max colour, so there are a ton of colours. Why do I do this to myself? Okay, so this is where we're at now. This first page has got a lot of confetti in it because there's lots of leaves and flowers, and then there's a lantern that comes in down here. So but yeah, look at the detail in these leaves and flowers up here. It's lovely. Yeah, I've worked on a lot of full coverage this month. I just love, I mean, I love all cross stitch, but yeah, there's just something about full coverage that just draws me every time. So that's where we're at with that one. I don't know how I'm going to ensure that this doesn't get folded up. Let's try and put it that way. There we go. Okay. I made a new bag for this one. So this is this lovely fabric. I don't remember where I got this from. But this is Tiger Lily. It's a crop. The artwork's by Jerry LaFaro and it's charted again by Artisy. And with this one, I did 735 stitches. And this is now at 14.76%. So I'll put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it. This is also being stitched in raw embroidery. And this is where it's at. So it's just working in this second page here. Again, this is a small one. It's only 200 by 240, but I really love the detail so far. So yeah. Lots of greens, and we're about to get into lots of sort of aquas and blues, so that'll be nice. I think it's only like 3.5 pages across. Let's just have a little look. Oh no, it's 4 pages across. Yeah. So I'll probably do the same with this one, just kind of work on pages in a diagonal way. Yeah. I just think rather than going all the way across the top, often you just get hit with a lot of backgrounds, whereas I feel like if you do diagonal pages, you're more likely to see some more of that detail more quickly. Okay. This one, you're not going to notice a massive difference on this, but I'll show it to you anyway. I did a stitch with me on my last, which is my last video. And this is Blooming Shore. It's a kit by Collection Dart. I only did 82 stitches, and I think I'm somewhere around 11%. So yeah, just working up here in the sky. So not really a lot to see, but I thought I'd show it to you. That's using all the kit materials. So that's, I think, a 14 count Ada. Okay, next I have got a Bella Filipina, one of the only non-full coverage that I did this month, and this is The Legend of Freya. Had the urge to pull this out this month, just kept thinking about it, so I pulled it out. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count Regal even weave from Kate at Fabrics by Crafty Kate, and I did 547 stitches. I don't know what the percentage is. Maybe I do. Let's have a little look on my Instagram. 4.87%. And so I just worked on another colour in her hair. Again, this is raw embroidery floss. Yeah, let's fold it over. Maybe you'll be able to see it a bit better. There you go. Yeah, I just worked on a different shade of brown. It's kind of really blowing it out. Different shade of brown in her hair. Just building up the different colours, basically. So this was lovely to work on. Yeah. So that's that one. Two more to go. Living in this bag is Sweet Shop. This is another Aimee Stewart pattern, charted by Hayes. I'm doing this with CXC thread, so this isn't max colour, it's just regular colour. I couldn't see enough of it. Well, I don't think I could see any difference between the regular colour and the max colour, so I just went with regular. But yeah, these are the colours that I've put on Flosstube so far. With Sweet Shop, I did 559 stitches and I'm at 0.88%. So I'll put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it. This is where we're at now. So yeah. Lots of curtains and wood to begin with, although this is the top of some sort of a jar of something, I think. So, but I'm really enjoying working with the CXC. It's not for every project, but yeah. Right, that's going back in there. Okay, and then the last whip to show you is living in this bag. So I made a new bag for this one out of this beautiful cherry blossom fabric. I bought it from Dalton Mill, I think it is, in the UK. It's not obviously the name of the company that makes the material, but that's the company that I got it from, that sold it to me anyway. So this is super size, max colour, a stitching shelf, artwork by Aimee Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Design. And the big goal for this one this year is to get to 50%. So I ended 2025 on 35%. And I think I managed to do about, I've written it down somewhere but I've forgotten, somewhere between 12 and 13% in 2025. So I thought, right, stretch goal, let's make it to 15%. Not 15%, let's make it to 50%, which means doing 15%. So in order to do that, I calculated how many stitches that was and then divided it by 365 and I got about 300. So that's what I'm doing daily now. Now there will be a month during this year, I think anyway, where I do a just focus month just on this. I've been doing that every year. Apart from the year that I started it, I've been doing every year since then. So it might be that I reach the 50% mark earlier than the end of the year if I do that month, but that's where we're kind of at with it. And I've decided that I was going to kit this one up. I treated myself. Patchwork Rabbit, they've had a change in ownership, and they had a sale. I can't remember when they put the sale up. It was sometime over the Christmas period, where they you could get 40% off everything. So I decided that I was going to order all of the DMC for a stitching shelf that I didn't already have. So what I did was I went through my stash of DMC. I've got like some tubs that I've got bags with like DMC numbers in, and any spares that I have, I put them in there. So I took out what I had spare wise, and then I needed about, it was just over 100 skeins of floss, so I ordered the majority of it from there. There was a few things that were out of stock, and then I used a seller on eBay yeah, to top up the rest. So I have, these are the colours that I've put on Flosstube so far, and I made these lovely like floral bookshelf floss drops. Where's the third design? There you go. So and then I still have this 3 bags of floss that I haven't put on Flosstube yet. Again, it's max colour, isn't it? So it's mental. So I don't know how many stitches, well, I probably do actually. I think when I finished 2025, I'd just done 250,000 stitches. So I'm now on 260,934, and I'm at 36.58%. So I put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it, and I have finished a page since then. So I will also put up on the screen the page finish, as well as what it looks like in its entirety when I had finished that page. And then this is where I'm at now. So this was the page that I finished, and then I've been working on this one, and I've got 3 rows left of this page. So it's these ladies looking at some sewing over here. There's a lot of light colours in this particular page. I'll put this behind it. But yeah, I've really been enjoying working on it. Yeah. When you're stitching those ladies' faces, you're like, oh, what do all these colours mean? Like, but then it starts coming together. So yeah. So love that one. Put this back over here, I think. So when I finish this video, that'll be the first thing that I do. Shove this back in here. So I made this bag big enough so that I could fit this in on a Q-snap, but the floss takes up a lot of room, so I may need to make a separate floss bag. I do have some of this material left, so we'll see how it goes when I've sort of put everything on Flosstubes. But to be honest, because I'm working on it every day, I don't, and for like a significant number of stitches, I'm not really putting it away. I'm just kind of putting it on this shelf that I've got over here. Yeah, but anyway, it can be put in there, like if I go like on a retreat or something like that. That's really hot still. So yeah, so that is everything. So so in terms of the new rotation, I started a new job in January, so it's been a bit of an adjustment period, working out how things are going to go, and obviously it has affected my stitching. And because I've set the goal of wanting to get that to 50% by the end of the year, 300 stitches a day is a big commitment. So on the days that I work, and I work Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it's pretty much what it has been the only thing that I've worked on. And there are some evenings where I just make it to 300 stitches and then I have to go to bed. and some Wednesday evenings where I make it to 250 and I just can't keep my eyes open anymore, and then the next day I'll do an extra 50 stitches. And then there are some evenings where I can get more done than that, but I've sort of committed to the fact that on those evenings I'm only going to be working on that project. By the time I get home from work, pick Bella up, do dinner, you know, get her in the bath and to bed, and then sit down to work on that, you know, that's about all that I can get done, which is fine. And then on the days that when I don't work, I've decided, okay, so I want to work towards finishing some things. I've got a lot of things that I'd love to start, but I kind of feel like because work is so different at the moment, I need to be a bit more, focused on what I'm doing with my cross stitch, you know, just so that I'm not all over the place with it. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense, but yeah, that's kind of my thinking at the moment. So on a Thursday, I decided that after I'd done my 300 stitches, I would work on Mini New Solar System, and do my 450 stitches or more, so that every week, so that I'm working towards a finish. So at the moment, well, it's not going to say that I'm going to complete it this year, no, because on Stitch Pal, you've got the option to turn on active stitch days, which means that it will count as part of your average. It will count days that you haven't done any stitching. So because I don't work on this every week, there's loads of days in between where it's 0, so the average is really low. So it's saying I'm doing 10 stitches a day. But I should get that done by the end of the year. Then on a Thursday, I want to work towards finishing smaller projects off. So I made a list of projects that are close to a finish and like their stitch counts. So that's why I worked this week on Cherry Blossom Bookmark, because it only had 873 stitches in it to finish it. So I managed to do that. The next one on my list is Geranium, and that's by Nora Corbett. That's got 1125 stitches left in it. And then we've got Bee Duet, that's got a few more, it's got 2957, and then it goes down from there. And then I think I'll get to a certain point where maybe what I want to do is every week rotate through 4 projects that need chipping away at. Otherwise I'll be working on a project for a number of weeks, and that might get old, I don't know. Anyway, I'll see how it goes. And then on Saturdays and Sundays I'm working on Glistening Wings, and the idea is that I'll do well, I've written it down here, 1673 stitches a week in order to finish it. So yeah, that's the plan. Again, it could change. I change my mind about my rotation all the time, you know, sometimes, but my circumstances have changed, so that means, you know, that I have, although I have more days off than I did before, in the evenings I don't have as much time. You know, before I finish work at 2:30, go and pick Bella up, you know, do some things with Bella, like her phonics and things like that, give her a snack, make dinner. Maybe I'd have a bit of time to put a few stitches in before dinner, and then while she was in the bath. And now I don't really have that time. So yeah, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's the plan. So I think we should go through my massive bag of haul. Oh god. Oh, yeah. It's been a while. Oh dear. Right, let's have some more tea before we get started on the haul. Okay, right, I'm just going to pull out of the bag. Oh, okay, so first of all, I was kindly gifted another kit by the Stamp Stitch Club. So there were a few that we could choose from, and I chose I Miss You. This is Mandy Manzano artwork, and I just really liked all of the colours in the image. So did it come in a box this time? I can't remember. Anyway, just to show you what you get in the kit. Pull this out. So you get a paper copy of the pattern in this folder. So just in case you get water on your kit, they do give you a paper pattern. You get a little bag with some stitchy bits in it. So this has some tape to use as like as an alternative to a thimble. I have tried that, it doesn't really work for me. You get a couple of needles, as these are size 26, a threader, a needle threader, and some scissors. So that's really cool. Little sheet, I suppose, for you to put on the back of a frame once you've done it. Yeah, share what you've done on social media. And then you get all of the floss, and they come on these floss cards, and this is DMC, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's DMC, and I went for 16 count this time around just to see what the difference in size was like. It's a pretty big one. It's 330 by 458. I'm not sure what size my other one was, but yeah, all of the colours of the floss are in there on these floss cards, which is lovely. And then you get the printed canvas. It's not a canvas, it's the printed Ada. So it's quite big. Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So you can see the window, can't you, in that stamping? And then yeah, here she is here. So yeah, to give you an idea of what the stamping is like. Yeah, it's really clear. You can tell exactly what it is. And it has, does it have down the side? Yeah, so down the side it has all of the symbols. And I believe there'll be a copy of that in the paper pattern as well. So I really need to start one of these. But I'm not really in a starting mood. So, but yeah. Anyway, I do have a discount code. Let me just double check. Not that one. So yeah, if you would like to get 5% off of your order with the Stamp Stitch Club, you can use the code Lindsay, and the link is to the website with my referral code on it is linked down below. So if you purchase something, it does mean that I get a bit of a kickback. So yeah, thank you in advance if any of you have already done that or are thinking about doing it. But yeah, I need to start one of these and let you know what I think. They do have the option of doing 14, 16 or 18 count on the website. So I think anything smaller than that would be like really difficult to see. So because already this 16 count looks quite difficult to me. Yeah, so I can't imagine what the 18 count would be like. And what I need to get over is, because this fabric is quite stiff to begin with, so I kind of need to work out how I'm going to work on it, because I'm not one, I don't have like scroll frames or things like that. I tend to put things in Q-snaps, and I just don't know what to do with the excess material, because, you know, when I'm working on 25 count Lugana, the excess material I can roll up, and then any excess just kind of hangs down, but this is not the kind of material that hangs. I know it will soften up over time, but it's just how to start it. So yeah, if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. Okay, let's put this back in here. Yeah, she has so many new designs going on the website all the time, and there are some smaller ones on there as well, so sort of like some I can't remember the name of the artist now, but some sort of like circular ones that look really lovely. So yeah, definitely go and check it out. Oh, it does say on here that she does it in 11 count as well. There you go. Okay, next. Well, I treated myself to a few patterns over the holidays. So one that I'd had my wish list for a while and that I'd seen a few people put up in their whip raid is Animal Panorama by Adrian Chestman. I bought this from Pain Free Crafts. So yeah, it's 900 by 324. I mean, I had a leftover piece of 25 count that I put in here that fit it perfectly. So yeah, I just love all of the animals on it, and I think well, there's a few people working on it, like Siski's working on it, for example, and I really love the detail. So I got that. Oh, this is the exclusive pattern that we got from buying the Haid sale. So originally they said that you could have this as a reward if you stitch one page of the Haid sale for 2026, and then when they sent everybody the pattern, they announced that they were just going to give this to everybody straight away. So you got, like, there were 4 different versions of it: regular max colour, and then supersize and supersize max colour. So this is, I mean, I downloaded all of them, but the one I'm going to be stitching is the supersize max colour, of course. This is called Aimee's Sanctuary of Stitching. It's amazing. So the supersize is 999 by 560. I just love all of the details on it. Look at this floss ball. And then you've got this kind of like what looks like a crochet blanket or a quilted blanket. Same on the couch. You've got the sewing machine in the corner. You've got, where is it? The little pattern for a stitching shelf here. Then on the wall, she's got a fox on the wall, which apparently she has a fox in all of her patterns. What's the other detail that I really liked? There's this Haid book down the bottom. That's cool. And then, what was the other thing that I really... Oh, up here, look. She's got part of her stitching shelf stitched up here. And then, like, look at this, like, little stitching chair with all of, like, the material. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So I bought a piece of fabric for that. Again, I don't know when I'm going to start it because I'm not in a starting mood. That could be what holidays are for. Starting some things. Went to Jade's Stitchy retreat day at the beginning of December, and you always get like a little goodie bag with some chocolate in it and stuff, and this time she gave us this Jingle Bells pattern, and it came with a little hoop to display it in, So that was fun. What's this? Oh, and at that retreat as well, I picked up this off the freebie table. It's a free card kit from Cross Stitch magazine called Totally Tropical. I really liked that. Comes with everything you need. And I think I showed you in my whip parade that I got a project bag from Anne at Stitchy Majig. I've got my Christmas birds project in that. So I forgot to get that out, but I did show you that in my whip parade. A couple of the Year in the Woods patterns. This is number 6, the chipmunk. And then number 7, the Northern Cardinal. So I've been getting those from Mary at Create Nostalgia. I finally got the last kit in this series. This is Mill Hill Buttons and Beads Espresso. I've been trying to collect all of the coffee ones, and I have them all now. They've been out of stock for ages. And then I got an email to say it was back in stock, and by the time that I picked up the email, it was out of stock again. And then I did another, put it back on my out of stock email, and then within a couple of days I had some more. So yeah, pleased I got that. There was a lady at the Jade Stitching Day that was stitching this Lucaresque kit, and it was incredible, and she only had a little bit left to go, and the detail was lovely, so I decided to get it. This is called the Flower Fairy. It's part of their gold collection. I didn't know that they had gold collections, but it comes in this like box rather than sort of like the slip cases that they have. So this is 16, comes with 16 count Ada. It has Anchor Floss in it. I haven't worked with Anchor Floss before, and it says it has a skill level of 4 out of 8. So I don't know whether it has, I think it just has 4 crosses, but it does have some blends. So yeah, it was so pretty. Bit glary, sorry. Yeah, I bought that off of Hobby Jobby. Right, what else have we got in here? I've got some fabric. So this is the Coffee Craft fabric of the month for January. I get 28 count even weave. It's a blue colour. I don't take it out of the packet. I don't know whether you're gonna fully, it looks more grey on the camera, but anyway, it's a lovely blue. Blue's always welcome. For Christmas this year, one of the things that my mum bought me was this piece of Bewitched 28 count Lugana from Pole Stitches, and I'm going to do La Catrina by Bella Filipina on this. I do have the pattern as well. Yeah, it's a bit dark today, really overcast. I signed up to a couple of Megan's clubs from Coffee Craft Fabrics. She was doing the mini village club from Country Cottage Needleworks, and again there was a lady at the Ipswich Stitchy Day, and she put on the finishing table all of these completed, and she fully finished them as well, and she had them like in this really nice little basket. And I said to Megan, you should take a picture of those and re-offer that, because I'd sign up for it. And so she did, and I signed up for it. So this is the January mini village, and you can choose to sign up for the club without threads or with threads. I chose without. I don't, because some of these come with like classic colourworks. In fact, this is all classic colourworks, and I don't think you necessarily need that. I'm just going to do it in DMC. So she sends a piece of individual material for each one. So it's all cut to size and serged as well, which is great. So I just paid yesterday for the second one in the series. So yeah, I've got that. And I also signed up for the new series from Country Cottage Needlework. It's the Christmas Market series, and this is the first one. It's the Christmas Market banner, and I chose to do mine all on one big piece of fabric. So this is 19 by 22 inches. Yeah. So on the Country Cottage Needlework website, if you want to do like their series all together, they tell you like the layout that it should be and how many stitches should be in between each pattern, and sometimes they give you like an extra border or whatever to kind of make it look a bit more finished off. Again, I chose not to do it with threads. I don't feel like it needs the overdyes. So again, like all of these are classic Colourworks. Well, I mean, it doesn't really need it. Like the white is a definite, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm just going to be doing it in DMC. But I haven't started that yet. Let's have a little bit of tea. Okay. Couple more patterns I've got in here. Oh, okay, yeah, so I printed off La Katrina. There's a lady on Facebook that's done like a lot of this top bit, and it looks amazing. Yeah, I know there's a bit of controversy with Bella Filipina recently, and I'm not going to get into my opinions on my channel just because I think I don't need to, basically. But yeah, I know people have their reservations, but there we go. And Cooler Designs had another sale on their winter charts, and there was a lovely subscriber who I know from Essex Needle who offered to send me her chart when she was finished, and I'm so grateful for that. But when they had a sale, I just thought, oh, I'm just going to get the winter sampler. So I now own all 4 of these. I've started 2 of them. Yeah. Okay. I've got to have more fabric in here. This is the last bit. This is number 5 Year in the Woods 2. This is the turkey. And then I have some fabric. So I bought a couple of pieces of fabric from Megan when I went to that Ipswich Stitchy Day, just blue pieces, just because blue is just so useful. So I bought this lovely sky blue mottled one, and then this one is a bit more aqua-y. It's showing up quite grey on the camera, but it is like a light aqua colour. So I got those 2. The December fabric of the month was this lovely gingerbread colour. And then I got 2 fabrics of the month sent through from Fabrics by Crafty Kate. She's behind on sending out some fabric. I did have a notification actually. Was that from her? No. So I'm still due the November and the December fabric of the months. Yeah, but I got September, which again is this lovely blue. And I got October, which is like this lovely sort of like beigey orangey colour. Yeah. And that's empty. Oh dear. There we go. So that is everything, stitchy wise anyway. Life wise, just before I leave you, well, I'm just about to go over the hour mark. Yes, so I started a new job in January. I am back to doing some traditional teaching. So yeah, that's been a bit of a culture shock, and I'm sure it will take me a while longer to wrap my head around what I'm doing. But yeah, that's been a big change. What else has been happening? I get to this bit of part in the video and my mind just goes blank. But Bella has started gymnastics on a Friday night, so we now do swimming on a Thursday, gymnastics on a Friday, dancing on a Saturday, and she's starting rainbows on a Tuesday in March. So her social calendar is filling up. Yeah, we've been working on getting some bits done in the garden. So before Christmas, we had some fencing replaced. We live in a house like on the corner of a road, so there's more fencing involved than would normally be the case. And the gravel boards that the previous owners had, were wooden and not concrete, and they were rotting basically. So we decided to get all of that replaced, and the gate needed replacing. There was one point last year where we couldn't close it properly, like it was a bit ridiculous. So anyway, we had all of that replaced. We had a load of stones removed from the borders because we want to start again with the borders. I had some tree stumps removed a couple of weeks ago, and then this week coming up we're having our patio extended. So there's a section at the front that they were using for a border, like just outside the kitchen window, and we've decided that we want to patio that, to extend the patio. So yeah, that's happening next week. And then as we get more towards spring, I would like to square off the borders, so the grass and the borders are sort of like in this more sort of oval shape, and I want to make it more symmetrical. So yeah, I'm going to square off the borders and then work out what to plant. I'm not the most green-fingered person in the world, perhaps because I don't dedicate the time to working out what I should be doing properly. So yeah, that is like a research task basically. If you haven't got the Readly app and you're interested like in a lot of magazines, I would definitely recommend subscribing to that. It's $12.99 a month, but there are so many magazines on there that you can subscribe to, and you can read them as part of your subscription. So I subscribe to a load of gardening magazines, and I've been looking through and using those for research purposes. I originally had the app for cross stitch because whenever Cross Stitcher or the World of Cross Stitch comes out, I read it on the app. So yeah, I've been using that for research purposes. So hopefully by the time the summer comes around, the garden will look a lot better and be a lot more usable. What else? Let's scroll through my calendar and just see whether there's anything that I'm missing. View past events. Don't know. No, I can't think of anything else. I'm going to come off of here and within like 20 minutes have thought about things that have been going on. Oh, I did want to mention that in February I am going to Zarina's Stitchy Day in Kent. It's at a hotel that she's like that she's using for the first time. So can't remember what the group is called. No. Anyway, she advertised it like on the Mirabilia UK group and things like that. So yeah, I don't know if there are any places left for it, but my friend Becky and I are going to that. It's on the 21st of February. So I'm looking forward to going to that, seeing lots of people that I haven't seen for a while. I know Megan from Coffee Craft Fabrics is going to be there, so it'd be lovely to see her. Yeah, that'll be a really lovely day. And that's at the end of February half term, so I've got 2 weeks left at work, and then it is February half term for a week, which would be lovely. And that's already filling up with loads of things for Bella. So we've got a couple of days where we're seeing friends for her. Yeah, just that's the way that holidays go, basically, don't they? Especially now that she's at school, it's kind of like the only time that you can catch up with friends. Weekends just go by so quickly. And I often feel like weekends should be like an opportunity to have a bit of a rest. I mean, not all the time, obviously, but yeah, I don't want them to be super busy all the time. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to love you and leave you because I've got lots of things to clear up. And I'm going to go and do my 300 stitches for a stitching shelf and go from there. Edit this video later on this afternoon. So I hope you're all having a lovely day. Let me know some of your plans for your stitching for this year. What have you decided about your rotations? You know, are you in a I'm going to start all the things mood, or are you in a I just want to work on my whips mood? I go through stages, you guys know that. So yeah, anyway, have a good couple of stitchy weeks, and I will see you soon. Bye.